When was the last time you watched a show, or read a book, or consumed a story of any kind that truly resonated with you? Something that you felt that really understood you, made you feel like you weren't completely alone in the way that you saw and felt the world. That you weren't insane or strange. That series for me was People Watching, created by Winston Roundtree, who is also the creator of a great comic book series called Subnormality and a few books as well. People Watching is a mini episodic series that you can find here on YouTube, consisted of 20 episodes, 10 per season, about a bunch of adults and their current everyday struggles. It might sound too simplistic for it to be a concept for a series, especially since we watch series to escape our mundane and boring reality. But trust me when I say that this is exactly why this series is so special. With all the fictional stories that exist, it's nice to see something that actually helps me understand and better deal with the real world. Because no matter how much you might escape it, it'll always be there when you finish reading that awesome sci-fi book, or we watched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe for the third time. Every episode has a theme, and every theme goes into a deep, emotionally intelligent discussion into our psyche and reflection of our humanity. The themes are varied from what it is like to watch a movie to what it feels like to be in your 20s. This series is full of little details in the background, both adding to the story either comedically or enhancing the topic of discussion. The animation is a very simple comic book style with smooth movements from the most malleable parts of the body. The soundtrack, though not completely original, it's full of really lovely mellow tunes. The characters are all both really unique and at the same time very relatable. They all have their different quirks, tastes, and personalities, be that what it might be. The situations they all go through, aside from the pinches of sci-fi here and there, are all also very relatable, but not always in ways you ever really think about all that much. Because they can be things that you have seen or heard about, but they stay in the back of your mind, so sometimes you even forget they exist. And I think having this perspective on things that are mundane and not priority on our everyday lives is a good thing, because it creates a stronger empathy within our souls. This allowing us to connect to our fellow human beings better. From people our age that have gone through things unimaginable to you, to the local homeless man down the street. Honestly, I rewatched every single episode and took like 3 pages of notes analyzing the episodes one by one before writing this script, and I don't know how I'm going to convey you all how great this series is. The series is the type of show that you could watch over and over and over again and still get new things from it every time you watch it. Every corner and every frame you see is full of secrets, Easter eggs, and background jokes and information. I could spend hours talking about this series if I wanted to, and even then I wouldn't do it justice, both in analytical and critical points of view. But I'm not gonna do that on a series you're not even sold into watching yet. Maybe one day I'll make a video discussing and analyze every episode, but for now, I'm trying to get all of you newcomers who have never heard of People Watching to be interested in this amazing series. I've decided that I'm not going to take too much of your time and convey an analysis I made of 2 of the most influential and important episodes of the series, to me at least. These episodes are Why Non-Religious Confessional Should Be a Thing and 20s. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Well, it's like this. Forgive me, but I have never watched Game of Thrones.
Nice. I thought I was the only one.
On an innocent trip, how can one ruin so much of belief?
You might be scratching your head at the thought of what the heck is a non-religious confessional, and don't worry, I was too at first. But then I thought about it, and it made a lot of sense to me. For those who don't know, a confessional is a booth where you have 2 doors, one for a priest and the other for you. The only thing that allows you to communicate is a small window with holes that lets you speak anonymously and confess your sins. In a way, it's like talking to a psychologist. only it's exclusive to Catholics and it's free. So the question the episode is trying to pose is, what if we had something like this in the real world, but without it being actual religious or sin confessionals? We could let out any racing thoughts that bother us during a daily basis, free of judgment too, completely anonymous. I think all of us would jump at the opportunity. And the episode is basically that. A bunch of young adults talking about all the frustrations and sad realities of our lives, touching on deep and personal aspects of our being we never really talk about because we feel that they are things that are too weird, invalid, for its lack of being normal, or because we just don't have anyone to talk about it with. But as you keep watching the episode until you get to the end, you realize that we are all actually more alike than we originally thought. And that fact makes us not feel so alone in this world. Not to mention, we feel much better after venting it all out. It makes you question whether there even is such a thing as normal in this world. This episode, even though it's the second one, sets a tone and basis on the general thematic of the series. Not every episode is about the oddities that aren't spoken, of course, but they all have this reflective flow about them, sharing ideas and thoughts that aren't explored all too deeply in society. And no better episode encapsulates that more than Season 2, Episode 5, 20s. First and foremost, I suck. I might have the resources to succeed, but I don't anyways. I'm going to end up broke and homeless and somehow not really survive by the age of 30. I'm not special in any way. I won't achieve jack shit in life. I'm super old, and if something good was going to happen, it would have already. Life is mapped out to you for your whole life, and then it's just all improv for the rest of your life. There should be a damn manual to follow. I'm alone as fuck, and I always will be. Logically, what would I contribute to someone else's life? If I deserve to be loved, it was meant to happen to me a while ago because I know so many people my age who are just like me but found love anyways. I was supposed to be an adult by now. I'm too old not to be an adult yet. It's too late to be someone else. I really love this episode, and I've seen it countless times because it really takes what is hard about being a young adult and portrays it in a variety of characters, all from different backgrounds and life situations, showing that no matter who you are, it's normal to feel the things you feel. And even though you feel all these things, and you are totally valid in doing so, you are terribly and absolutely wrong. You deserve to be loved and respected just as much as anyone else does. You are much wiser than when you first started this journey to adulthood. When you reach your 30s, you'll know a lot more about life, love, and mental illness. We can't compare ourselves because all of our lives are completely different, and you can really only hope to understand your fellow humans because nobody experiences anything the same. We also cannot compare because it's never been now before. It's all new. Everything that is happening is new. Life gets better. You get better at the job of being a human being. And people give a shit. You might be going through hell and feel alone, but they care. Even if they don't know you, they care. Because that's what being human is all about. Empathy. You look back one day and cringe at today, just like when you look back at when you were a teenager and cringe. It's very hard because we forget what it's like to be 15 when we're 16, and 16 when we're 17. But it's all the truth. And history shows it, as do the stories told by the infinite amount of people that lived in history. This series is not a perfect one. If I had to give a nitpick about it, is that there are a couple of holes in the character arcs to what qualifies as canon or not. For example, the characters talk and interact with each other in one episode but completely forget the existence of said character in another season or even another episode. And the things they say, which have some sort of correlation in their interactions, have to be taken with a pinch of salt at times. I'm sure these exist because the creator of the show wasn't sure how exactly he would create these arcs between the characters when it came to later episodes and seasons, and the holes aren't so completely head-scratching that the stories don't make sense and can't be explained. But they exist, and when you watch these episodes as many times as I have, it kind of bothers you a little bit. But honestly, this is just a small nitpick in the scale of a beautiful work of art that is this series. To conclude, I asked the creator of this web series for who and why he created people watching, and he was kind enough to give me a response. This is what he had to say.
In terms of the content, the why and for whom are interconnected. I just try to write stuff that says something about what it's like to be a person, or perhaps a particular kind of person at least, in a way that I don't see elsewhere. I just try to make things that speak to me personally and help me through life's issues. And then I've learned that if you feel strongly about something, then other people will too. And hopefully enough people to form an audience. I made the show to try and say something about the world, generally with a message of empathy, and that's for anyone who can relate to that and or can't find it elsewhere. Art has to serve a purpose. It has to fill a need in people that isn't being met. So I try to fill my own need for thoughtful content that tries to convey emotional depth in a creative way, and which goes deeper than other content.
All in all, this is a series everyone should see. It looks at problems from an inside and outside perspective, and that's something a lot of people need. A new perspective, an old perspective, and a straight fucking answer. What else can I say but check it out and see it for yourself. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe to all that good shit to help my channel grow, and hit that bell button to be notified of new uploads. If you made it this far in the video, I want to congratulate you for doing so, and thank you for giving me a bit of your time. I'd like to also offer you, since it seems you are interested in this series, there's actually a Facebook group called Secret Losers Anonymous. It's a group based on one of the episodes of the series, and it's basically a support group with lots of amazing people in it. If you're interested in making new friends and offering and receiving life advice about all the dramas of life, feel free to join. We'll be more than happy to have you. If you're coming here from that group, well, thanks for your view, and I hope you keep supporting me. Also, if you can, please share this video around so more and more people get introduced to this amazing series. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember to stay determined. TTFN, guys!